Farmers in Australia, most parts in the southern part of Australia, say they can't make hay at high moisture in under a week. We've done plenty of trials on now, knowing that the microbial growth was what was giving us the hay heating, it wasn't the moisture. And the way we actually proved that was we cut hay and we left it on the ground for 3 weeks. Every 2 days, we took a sample out of that hay and measured the mould and yeast growth. And the mould and yeast stayed quite stable until about day 8 or 10. And then after that, they started to grow exponentially. Once that plant broke down, made those sugars more available to those moulds and yeast, those spoilage organisms, they grow to a point where they grow exponentially. What we're trying to do is get the hay into a bale before we get that hay infected from these mould and yeast. Mould and yeast will go dormant once the moisture drops right down, but as we see in droughts and times like that, when we get dry hay that's been laid on the ground for 4 to 6 weeks, it's really infected with moulds and yeast. We then have the issue that when we get a rain event, we can get combustion. And people say it's the moisture, but now we've been able to measure and prove that the mould and yeast has infected that hay. By using the process that Scott is using here now, he has limited his risks of combustion due to there's no mould and yeast in that hay now. So again, we've been baling in under a week and we're baling safely with a low microbial count, which is really significant in haymaking. If you look at the way he's handling his hay, when it's cut, he throws it out of the mower. We get more surface area, we get better drying, more even drying. Depending on the weather conditions, we might be tedding on day 2, otherwise it could stay at there day 3. Then we'll rake it up into a nice area windrow, and then on day 5 or day 7, again, weather depending, we're getting into a bale safely. And it's a real quality product. You know, we've got a really nice green hay, high nutrients, but again, it's safe.
We've increased yield, we've dramatically increased quality and timeliness as well. So we've basically gained at least a week to 2 weeks in our production cycle. So it means that everything's happening quicker and we can go and do other jobs.
One of the biggest benefits is being on the scale we are. We're at the moment, we're probably limited to being able to expand our hay operation, which is something we've been looking at trying to do. With this process, we think we can actually increase the amount of hay we do because we can shorten our baling window, and with some changes to the varieties we're using, actually open up and be maybe baling a little bit earlier with earlier maturing varieties. With this process, using the Gazeeka on the back of the baler and then more so focusing on what our bale temperatures are doing, moistures are not so much of an issue anymore, especially now that we've got this system set up on our baler with both the application of the hay guard and also using the Gazeeka module on the back.
I think the process of people losing so much of their quality by leaving the hay in a windrow. Other contractors that have come to the States and done this trial with us have seen that by getting the hay into a bale in under a week, they've been able to not lose, they're probably gaining 20% more as in production on that crop. Once we change the mindset, you can make hay in 5 to 7 days safely using these techniques, using the Gazeeka products, the hay guard. I think we'll see a growth in the way we're doing things.